Hello, and welcome to the Sunday meditation at the Light Institute of Galisteo and the Sanctuary of Light. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we have a special way that we do this meditation. We divide it into 3 parts. In the first part, we ask our divine higher self. It's the intuitive essence of your soul. It's your own inner voice. And we ask it to take a form so that we can align with that higher frequency as we meditate. It's profound for us to make that connection to our higher selves. So we ask it to take form, we draw it into our body, and we sit in meditation. I will make a little sound so that you can push the button on your apparatus and meditate for as long as you like. In the second part of the meditation, we imagine that we're reaching up into the cosmos and pulling down to us a beautiful beam of pure white light down through the top of our heads into our stomach, our solar plexus, which is the center of our emotional energies. And from there we radiate it out, across the planet, back up into the sky. And we do that with our breath. Breathe in, draw the white light down. Exhale, extend it out. This extends your presence and your energy into the planet. And you just keep doing that flow. It will take you into a very wonderful, peaceful meditation. In the third part of our meditation, each week, people ask us to focus our higher energies on something that will be useful or helpful or uplifting to the world. Today, we're going to focus our attention on the shifting from the impossible to the possible. All over the world, we're shaking our heads and saying, oh, peace is impossible, or this is impossible, or that can't happen. And so what we need to do is to use the power of consciousness to amplify that the possible will come forward because we're putting our consciousness on that. And we do that with light. We do that with the colors. So we would say, what color do we need to bring forward and amplify the possible? And then we just draw that into us. We feel it moving through us and radiate it out so that there's an energy through light of lifting and activating possibles. Possibles that may be personal to you, or possibles that have to do with our global or earth world realities. If you're ready, we'll begin with our breath. We breathe in through the nose, we hold at the top, and then we exhale through the mouth very slowly, twice as slowly, because the exhalation activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the consciousness and allows us to go into a meditative state. So here we go. Close your eyes, breathe in through your nose, hold at the top for a moment, and now through your mouth, as if you were whistling, exhale very slowly. Once again, breathe in through your nose, hold at the top, and exhale through your mouth. Ask your higher self, the intuitive essence of your soul, your own inner voice, to take a form for you. It could be a being, a light, a rainbow, a star, a tree, an animal, an equation. Just ask it to take form and see what form it comes in at this moment. Now, ask your higher self to touch the point in your body where you are holding your divine essence at this moment. You might feel that touch, or hear it, or see it. Just ask your higher self to touch that place where you hold your divine source at this moment. Notice where it is. And then breathe in and out through that point, creating an opening. and draw your higher self in through that point in your body so that your higher self moves into the essence, the cellular level of your being. Sit in meditation. Take a deep breath into your body and reach up into the cosmos. And as you inhale, breathe down a beautiful beam of pure white light down to the top of your head, into your stomach, the center of your emotional body. And from there, as you exhale, laser that white light out from you, across the planet, back into the cosmos. Inhale, draw it down. Exhale, laser it out. And just continue that pattern. Om. Breathing deeply. Ask your higher self to show you what frequency of light you need to extend, to feel, and to extend into the world that will amplify and bring forward the possibilities, the infinite possibilities that await us. Just see what color comes into your consciousness now. And then reach up into the cosmos and pull exactly that color down through the top of your head. Feel it pass through you and imagine that it's activating all of the possibilities that belong to you, your purpose and your destiny. Breathe that color down and then laser it out across the planet and feel that it's activating all of the potential on all levels, on global levels, on community levels, on spiritual levels, individual levels. So just, again, pull exactly that frequency down and laser it out and feel the joy that by using light, you are amplifying possibilities to bring us into new octaves and change and growth. Extend that out. Feel that you are opening a threshold to infinite possibilities that seemed impossible before, but now, through the power of light, could come into form. Om. Take a deep breath into your body and open your eyes. Yes, let us focus and imagine and allow our higher selves to begin to whisper to us and to synergistically bring to us possibilities that we didn't see before. There's a second part of our meditation. It's called knowings. And each week from around the world, people send us questions that they would like for us to focus upon in order to uplift us, to illuminate all of us that are participating. And Allison will tell us the questions that have come for us today. Allison?
The first question is from Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
Dear Chris Griscom, can you tell me how long consciousness stays in the body after death?
You know, that is something that every religion has discussed when it comes time to lay someone to rest or to cremate the body or whatever it is, that this body that we hold, even when the life force has left it, is there consciousness? Yes, there is. And I would not say that it's this many hours or this many days, as many religions do. I would say that there's a difference in consciousness. For example, I have worked around the world releasing spirits that have been entrapped always because they've had a violent death. Some of them are thousands of years in the same recycling of their consciousness. Their consciousness is only about that moment of death, and releasing them into the light. But just like when we take our first breath, That's the moment that the soul of consciousness enters us. And at the moment of our death, there's an explosion of light. I've seen this so many times when I've had the honor of being with people as they pass from their bodies. This explosion of light, that's the soul leaving. Consciousness never dies. It just changes form, just like everything. And so what I would say to you is that you always want to know and that if you're with someone who is passing, and if they've just passed, you can speak to them, and it's a good thing to do. Travel into the light. You are free. You have done a wonderful job. Move into the light so that that part of the spirit does not linger. Sometimes a spirit will linger because of family, because family are holding us. And as family, if you know how much you love someone, you must love them by realizing that each being chooses the moment of their death. It is not ours, it is theirs. And they will choose it in concert with their own soul's needs. And then we want to truly, through our love, let them go. And what I always say when I'm performing these ceremonies of passage is for each of you to contemplate what was the characteristic, the quality of that person that you most loved. And if you focus on that, you will inherit it. And in that way, they live on through you. But we want the consciousness to move back into the unmanifest, to move back into different streams of how the consciousness incorporates the experiences of a life in order to facilitate the ongoing process of evolution, individual evolution and cosmic evolution. I hope that helps you. Great love. Allison?
The second question is from Paphos, Cyprus.
Cyprus.
To Chris Griscom, what are the merits of being a vegetarian? Will it make me lighter emotionally?
Well, that's a very tricky question today because whatever you say, somebody's going to get angry about it. But here's what I would say. First of all, we should never say this is what you should do. But there are cause and effect. There are truthful things that happen with what you eat and the vibration of what you eat. The problem with not being a vegetarian when you're eating something that has been killed is that we have not found ways to take something from its body, to use its body, without causing it fear. So adrenaline, whether it's whatever kind of animal it is, it will feel fear. It will create the stimulus of adrenaline when it is caught, when it is passing through whatever it is, when it's going to be killed. It knows that. And that adrenaline lodges in its muscles. And of course, it lodges in the heart and the organs as well, but specifically in the muscles, and we eat the muscles. And we are therefore taking in the fear of that animal. We are not separate from each other. Not any form of life is separate from any other. And so when you take in the fear of others, it does not make you light. It can make you depressed. It can create all kinds of emotional energetics within you. Now, one of the things that I would say is that a lot of people say, well, I need the meat, I need red meat even. Some people feel, well, if I just eat a chicken and it's not red meat, then it's different. Not really different. That's a live animal who knows you're killing it. But what I would say is if you're feeling that I need that in order to be strong, I would say that there are other avenues, there are other possibilities. For example, mushrooms. Mushrooms have that juiciness and that heaviness that will give you that same sense that meat, especially red meat, would give you. There's another aspect that I think is, there are several, but here's one, again, talking about your physical body. When you eat meat, especially red meat, it's going to sit. It's going to take about 12 to 24 hours for your stomach to pound it down back from the protein molecules back to the essential amino acids, or all the amino acids. And amino acids are the building block of our life force, of our bodies. If you are a vegetarian, and for example, especially if you use spirulina or sunchlorella or blue-green algae, they have all these amino acids in their pure form. So your body doesn't have to break them down. It can access them immediately in order to build and protect your body. And that gives you lightness. And certainly emotionally, it gives a lightness because it's a powerful life force energy. And then there's another aspect of the beauty of choosing to be a vegetarian, and that is that we are all here on this planet at this time to help us go through a funnel of initiation onto a higher evolution of the soul. And to do that, we have to realize that we are connected inextricably with what happens, as we're seeing now with all of this global change that's going on right now, through the warming, through the things that have happened that we're contributing to. And so when we tear down a rainforest in order to feed cattle, for example, we are not protecting humans. Humans are starving. Even in countries that consider themselves to be wealthy countries, children are starving. They're starving because we haven't learned how to balance our relationship with nature, to grow our food so that we can feed everyone. As long as there are people who are hungry and people who are frightened, we will have wars. Once we realize that what happens to you happens to me, and I care about if your children are hungry, and I care about your bodies and your health, when these things occur into our consciousness and into our human hearts, we will realize that it is very enlightened, actually, to choose to be a vegetarian, to not take the life of an animal, something with a nervous system, so perhaps even similar to our own, but to honor the life of plants and to grow plants and to imbibe them and to therefore create a different kind of balance so that we do not have these storms, we do not have what's happening right now on this planet, because we are disturbing the balance of life. So I would say, listen to your body. If you're wondering if you should become a vegetarian, ask your body what it wants to eat. Now, your body knows, and do what your body says. But there is something that you need to know about vegetarians that unfortunately people do not know, and therefore they sometimes do not get the benefits of eating plants. And that is that plants do not carry within them the B12. And B12 is essential to our nervous system, to our brain. It has many, many specific functions in the body. So if you are a vegetarian, then you have to take a supplement that is high in B vitamins, B12. So that's easy to do. It's very easy. And I would say you would want a supplement of B12 that you can is either liquid, or what I use is these little ones that you put under your tongue, because the moment that you have something under your tongue, your saliva will interact with it and it will tell the brain instantly, I have this thing I need. And when it has that, you will find that, especially with B12, you have more energy, you are lighter on all levels of your being. Thank you. Allison.
The last question is from Meredith, New Hampshire in the U.S.A. I've heard that souls are lined up waiting to incarnate on Earth. Is this true, Chris? And if so, why is an Earth incarnation so important?
Well, that statement was true in the 80s, the 90s, and the very beginning of the 21st century, where there was an influx of souls attempting to get in because of the awareness of cause and effect, that was what is coming. And so those who have come in those time periods, and you all know this if you have children or grandchildren, or you're watching the young people today, they are carrying different karma with Earth, and they are carrying a different kind of balance in their genetic encoding. And this is very important to the future of our planet. So this influx isn't happening now, but it was happening. And we can see that when we observe how children and young people use their intellect, use their emotions, use their bodies. And so this is very true. Now, why is it important to incarnate in planet Earth? First, let me mention something. I heard a teacher saying just today that you should get rid of karma. And I thought, well, karma is nothing but the law of cause and effect, action and reaction. Therefore, there will always be karma. And a cosmic law is that the unmanifest must take form. Consciousness must come into form. Because if it did not, everything would collapse. So if we want to have galaxies, or we want to have universes, or we want to have the evolution, the infinite evolution of life potential, then consciousness will always take form. There will always be incarnation. Now that incarnation will not always be for you and me on planet Earth, or even as humans. This is not the first time we've incarnated. We've incarnated in planet Earth, which is why we come here. There's a special kind of seduction, I might say, in terms of planet Earth, and that's because this is the planet of the heart. And all of us also not only have human DNA, we have angelic DNA, devic DNA, and galactic DNA, which means that we have access to civilizations and to conscious beings of higher octaves that are not only in our galaxy, galactic as we see it, but in other galaxies. This is true. And what's happened is that we are, because we're the planet of the heart, we are still using the individual emotional energies. Most higher species have reduced that or limited or gotten rid of emotions. And I feel what's happening now is that they are recognizing that individuation is very useful in terms of creativity, in terms of evolution itself. Whether that's mutations or whatever that is, it allows for avenues of again, individuation that can be useful to the evolution of the whole. And so there's a lot of interest in how we humans can evolve our emotional energies. Right now we seem to feel as if we are not doing very well in that, polishing our emotional body so that we realize that we want to experience cosmic love, that we want to experience higher octaves of emotion, so that it's not the emotion of survival or mine against yours, but the oneness, the inclusion, the recognition, the pure love, the unconditional love. That we humans have that word, the unconditional love. We just haven't ever accessed it. Maybe a little bit when you have an animal, a pet, you might feel that. But so there's a lot of interest. So we are choosing to come into human form in planet Earth right now because we have a great, vast access of information and understanding that can help us to find the solutions, that energetic solutions, spiritual solutions, emotional solutions, and physical ones that need to come to the fore, that need to be brought forward in order to not only support the future of our species, because that's not a given. Gaia, Earth, will make it through. Well, the two-leggeds, that has not been decided yet. And so we need big changes of the heart, big changes of consciousness, and big changes of illumination and purpose in order to be able to participate in this funnel of initiation that is occurring in terms of evolution. So we want to embrace all those who are coming in. And by the way, a baby, since we humans are one of the only species that do it this way, it's not just a baby, it's a fully developed soul, simply using the process of incarnating within a womb, of being a baby and growing as if they didn't know what it is to speak or to be human or to be this race or that race. We know, we've been all races. But we choose to incarnate, not only to perhaps tie up or alter or conclude or even include incarnations that we've had before, as we again speed the evolution of our bodies, of our consciousness, of our species. And so it's a great honor to be here. There are no beginners on the planet. Even those that are being the bad guys right now, as souls, they are participating and playing that role so that you and I can awaken and realize how we need to address this so that humans can come into the oneness, and in that oneness realize that we are the blue-green algae, we are the shark, we are the tree, we are the rocks. And when we understand that, not intellectually, but energetically, we will be able to save our planet and all of life here. So I hope that you will focus your consciousness in a way that says, whatever I've experienced, I have the consciousness, I have the clarity to use it, to use life for the evolution of us all. We are not the victims. We are the ones. We are the agents of change that will bring about a new reality. My love and support to each and all of you.